Well, hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Brian over here at the Little Orchard Farm, and man, welcome back to the farm. We've got a wonderful day, a beautiful morning here. It's early. I got out early so that we could do a little bit of an exercise before we jump back into the shop. If you recall last time, we got some of the walls painted. We're going to do the rest of the painting and get the trim up, and who knows what else we might get into. So stick around for that. But this morning, it's a nice morning, beautiful morning. And what's really beautiful about it is that the blackberries, as you can see back in here, they're starting to ripen up quite nicely. We're still also learning about the health benefits of the blackberry when we're making our treats or our jams or just picking them straight off the vine. We've got, these little guys here are considered a superfood, and tons of vitamin A, B1, 2, 3, and 6, calcium, zinc, magnesium. In fact, there's a lot of things, and a lot of cognitive benefits as well. Cancer prevention, healthy health, healthy heart. Oh my goodness, it's still early in the morning. But there's tons of things that these blackberries are good for in terms of your health. And so we've got an abundance of them here on the property. And I thought this morning I'd come out and pick some more. And we will freeze them so that they are ready for the wine and the hand pies. So we're going to pick a few this morning, and then we're going to get back in the shop. Got a lot to do today. Let's do this. All right, so I have finished installing all of the trim work all the way around. Looks pretty good. I'm still going to add some corners. I may go with quarter round here in the corners. Haven't decided whether or not. I still have a couple of the strips here. I may rip those down and create some corner pieces out of them. Haven't decided on that. I'll come back to that a little bit later. One of the things that I wanted to at least share with you, and you might be able to see it right up here, as you can probably tell, you see the gap between the trim and the wall. Well, when you use 3/8 sheathing, 3/8 sheathing is very, very thin, and it wiggles a whole. It's not near as rigid as 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch plywood. But the price differential is fairly significant, and so I wanted to go a little bit cheaper. In fact, a 3/8 sheet of plywood costs this, and a 1/2 inch sheet of plywood costs this. Now you multiply that by the difference in those two by 30, because that's about the number of sheets that I used in this whole shop, both top and bottom, and this is the number that you get. It's a substantial savings. So instead of, and the same holds true for the trim work, instead of going by 1x4s, I went with 2x4s, and I simply ripped those down into about 5/8 thick rips to create the trim. And that saved me a little bit of money as well. And so I'm looking to try to be as cost effective as I possibly can in this build out. But you can see, I don't know if you might be able to tell, the wall is really wiggly. And that's going to happen when you're running with 3/8 sheathing. The positive part of it is that most of the wall, for example, down on this end will be covered with my wood rack, and so there'll be wood sitting against the wall. And in other areas along the wall, there will be cabinetry, cubbies, organizing things, and so forth. And so most of the wall won't even be seen. And so it's kind of my thinking, is that the hope is that a lot of this will be covered up. The trim work, as you can see, is blue. My old shop was also that same color kind of blue. In fact, here's a table that my chop saw station that I'll be erecting in the new shop or here in the new space, and you can see the blue. Looks very similar. And so I'll probably freshen this up with a fresh coat. But this in tandem with kind of let me swing you around here, kind of a off-white, almost like a beige kind of a color. Man, those two go great in the shop. I love that color combination. Did it also over on my table saw. As you can kind of see, there's the dark beige kind of a color with the blue trim, blue top, and so forth. So I like that color. I like that color pattern, that color coordination, that color combo, and so that's what I'm going to stick with here in the shop. I was going to go with that color on the walls, and I thought I really need to be able to reflect as much light, and I know white is obviously the ultimate reflector, so that was the big reason for going with white, and really no other reason than that. Wanted to set off the accent wall a little bit more as well. I thought the white might really make that back wall pop. So got a couple more items to do, and I think it's about time to start organizing some of this stuff. And so the aforementioned wood rack, I think I'm gonna put it up. day, what a day. What one day makes, right? Spent the whole afternoon yesterday getting all my lumber off the ground, getting everything kind of sort of organized. Now there's a couple of pieces of equipment that are really heavy. My son's coming out today, so he and I will move those into place. But man, just look how clean everything now looks. I've got the floor space is opening up. We're getting there. The shop is getting there. I've already picked out the place for the CNC router table. I'm actually going to put it right here in the middle. That way, I thought about putting it against the wall, but if I put it against the wall, then with no casters or anything, then I limit myself to the dimensions of the wasteboard, the 48 by 30. If I pull it off the wall and I do what's called tiling, then I can do much longer carvings, much longer. And so I'm going to pull it off the wall. I'm going to build the table out here, and that'll also be just down the road. So stay tuned. Make sure you pop that subscription button and comment. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Well, guys, that's it. Still got a lot of cleaning up still left to do. Well, working there, got to get everything organized and put in their little spots. But we'll get there. We'll get there. But in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week, a very blessed week. Until we see you again the next time, we will see you.